Now, as you guys might have guessed, I watch a lot of news media. RT, obviously Press TV, many other sources. I've got about 30 of them sitting on my bookmarks menu bar, RSS feeds for news. But sometimes I like to watch stuff that's more entertaining, you know, just let your brain cool down, just watch something entertaining, just to get your mind off of how, frankly, fucked up everything really is. Now, one of those things I like to watch is H3H3. And I like H3H3. And just recently they've started doing a new series where they're talking about Viners who have come to YouTube. And they're spreading their complete fucking cancer on our service. And this pisses me off to frankly no end. I don't think it's anything controversial to say that YouTube has gone straight down the fucking shitter ever since Google bought it out. I mean, it's great that the partner program came up and that people who make content can make money off of that. But then they decide to go and just completely fucking kill that by promoting complete crap because it makes money, like these fucking Viners. You know, there was like people like me who are trying to produce real content. I fucking hate my neighbors. There are people who are genuinely trying to do stuff, like myself and a lot of smaller YouTubers that are trying to do real discussion. Even some people that are trying to make genuine real comedy like H3H3, Filthy Frank, etc. And a lot of us, well, not those two specifically, big names in general, but people like me, people like Mason Steiner, people like Chris Grain, people like Finnish Bolshevik, just completely get flattened by this utter fucking cancer that is people, like Shane Dawson, the now former Ray William Johnson, and it's even to some degree Laci Green. At least Laci Green is producing some content. I would rather kill myself than agree with her, but at least she is producing content to some degree that's at least entertaining and at least somewhat informative. Even The Amazing Atheist. But at least people like me are getting squashed by these stupid fucking channels that are completely should not exist. And now all these Viners, these people whose the extent of their intellectual development is 6 seconds, are now moving into YouTube and creating longer cancer, clickbait, just complete and utter degeneracy, just things that completely misleading thumbnails, misleading titles, complete garbage. And that's what's making the millions. And you know whose fault this is? This is YouTube's fault. This is capitalism's fault. The lowest common denominator will always make the most amount of money. Cancer will always make a lot of money. And I think I have a right to be upset, considering that I am trying to do something real, and even trying to get into a bigger thing, trying to get into a bigger audience, try to get a Marxist message into the mainstream by even getting on Press TV. I'm trying to improve myself, trying to raise the level of discourse. I'm trying to engage in debate, to engage in real discussion of ideas, and it's just killed. And I'm not the only one. Finnish Bolshevik as well, which is a good example, is getting killed by memes. It's getting killed by Viners, and Viners are just the new strain of cancer that's killing YouTube. And most sickening of all is getting demonetized for talking about something that's actually fucking relevant, but it's too controversial for advertisers who are literally just trying to screw anybody who's trying to present some kind of alternative to the mainstream narrative. Look at this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to edit that out because the video will get demonetized if I say the actual title of the video. Let's just say it talks about a certain Middle Eastern country where a certain thing happened that's too extreme for the advertisers. Except, of course, the advertisers that advertise on things like CNN or Fox or RT. And I don't mean the television channels, I mean the actual YouTube channels. And they can talk about this. And they get monetized, but we don't. I would really love an explanation for that. In fact, I have even messaged Google, messaged YouTube, asked them. Because one time, I had a video demonetized and Press TV was showing the exact same one, but it had ads on it. And I said, this is literally the same video. Please tell me what the difference is. Tell me what I'm doing different from Press TV, that mine gets demonetized, but they don't. We understand your frustration. We understand that this can be a very difficult time for you, but we reserve the right to demonetize videos for any reason. To which I asked, what's the reason? You said any reason. So what's the reason? It doesn't say no reason. If there is a reason, let me know. Because I would like to avoid that. I would like to be able to monetize my content. I would like to be able to provide myself with a better income than a shitty fucking gas station job. I'd like to supplement that with something much better. You know, a lot of people want to live off of what they do on YouTube. It's not unreasonable that somebody would want to avoid having to deal with exploitation as far as first world exploitation goes. So I mean, come on, I'm supplementing my own income from my own shit minimum wage job, which is only part-time, because there's no fucking work around here. So can you tell me what it is that I need to do to actually get paid for the work that I do that brings you money? It's fine. They won't give me one. And then their only answer is, we understand your frustration, your ass. And that's pretty much the end of it. And that pisses me off, you know, and the fact that they know that they're full of shit and they won't acknowledge it. The content ID system is another. Fucking end yourself. I hate these fucking neighbors. You imagine trying to record videos with that fucking shit going on? Where the hell was I? Yeah, the content ID system. Now, I understand that people own certain content and they don't want other people using them. I'm pretty cool about that. I don't try to take people's videos down for using my content, particularly when it's stupid shit that's just that's just insulting me, making fun of my appearance. Well, this guy's an idiot, Reader Rothbard, blah blah blah. And I don't try to take it down. It's a pain in the ass. It's a waste of time, and they're the only ones that look stupid. So I don't bother doing that. But I understand that there are some organizations, particularly corporate-owned, complete fucking shit, that doesn't like it when you do that. Because it's not like we have a right to fair use or something like that. You know, one of the rights that actually exists under bourgeois democracy, that even though it's a right that capitalism says you're supposed to have, you don't actually have it. But what really fucking pisses me off is when Kendrick fucking Lamar has my video demonetized because it has footage of Fidel Castro playing basketball. Because it's from this Cuban State Media Archive. It's from there. But it appears in one of his shit-ass fucking music videos. Oh, content ID, you can't show that. We're going to take the money for the whatever amount of views that you get from it. Well, Kendrick Lamar, I wasn't aware that you own the exclusive rights to footage from the Cuban Media Archive. Or more specifically, the company that you're affiliated with that puts this fucking content ID strike on my shit. So I completely lost my fucking train of thought. Thanks, assholes. So I gotta file an objection. It takes 2 weeks. And then they respond. And usually all they do is say, fuck you, and they keep it on anyway. So in the meantime, all the views that I would have gotten on that video are completely missed. They're not monetized. and I lose all that money for whatever little bit it actually is. And in many cases, even when you have a fair claim to content, you file a dispute. They come back and say, no, you can't use it. They say, no, it's fair use. It's very clearly fair use. If they come back and say no again, that you can't, then you get a strike on your channel. Even though you actually didn't do anything wrong, even though you're well within your legal rights, because some corporate asshole says you can't, you get a strike on your channel, even though you're actually in the right. Prime example. You remember those videos I made about Stalker and explaining a lot of the philosophy behind that? In it was the trailer for the movie Stalker from 1977. It was a Soviet movie. Mos Films, or Moscow Films, who now owns it, says you can't have the trailer for the movie in it because we own it. So I literally can't even advertise their own movie. I mean, it's not like somebody's just re-uploading a trailer for a new movie that's coming out and they're stealing away all the views from the actual company that makes the movie and would be getting those views. This is from 1977. I think largely the amount of money that you're going to make from the Soviet movie is done now. Like, they've already made it, and it's not like I just re-uploaded the fucking trailer. I uploaded it as footage as a part of discussing part of the philosophy behind Stalker. So that's definitely fair use. Criticism, literary, blah, blah, blah. But Mos Film says no. And if I appeal them again, and they say no, I get a copyright strike on my channel. And that should be pretty much the best explanation of the YouTube content ID system that's there. Now, believe it or not, there are people like me that actually like YouTube. But what we like is what it could be, not what it is. YouTube could be something that is a tremendous forum for people to discuss ideas. And these ideas can only be as good as the people expressing them. And there are people who express ideas in the most infantile and stupid way possible. People like Scotty M, people like Section 60, whatever the fuck his name is, I don't even know. But there are people who act like outright idiots. But that's besides the point. It could be so good, it could be such a great tool to filter wealth to those who can produce actual, real, good, solid things. But that's not what capitalism is about. YouTube wants this like complete effing garbage. Just stuff that's almost unwatchable. Like if you pay attention to a lot of the videos recently, or the videos in general, that H3H3 has produced, pointing out these really stupid channels that shouldn't even exist, you'll see what I mean. React videos are complete fucking garbage. They should be called losers overreact to something that's completely fucking unimportant. Food reviewer channels should not exist. I couldn't think of anything more American than stuffing your fucking face and telling people about it and having it make you money. It blows my mind that this is a thing. And capitalism will always promote the biggest goddamn cancer possible. And finally, these inappropriate children's channels. Elsa pregnant by Spider-Man with blue hair, Joker, whatever. If you watch H3H3, you know what I'm talking about and how god-awful that absolute garbage is. I wish YouTube would return to the way it was before Google fucked it all up. But again, what's the point of wishing that? Because it's not going to happen. And there's nothing that we can do about it. The market has decided, and the market knows absolutely everything. The market is an unquestionable force that's not controlled by people. It's just an aggregate of decisions that are made, and therefore totally not God. because it's a force we can't question. It's going to remain this way. It's going to remain horrible. And that's just the way this total fucking shit is. And sometimes, as someone who cares about YouTube, cares about the possibilities of how good this community could be, it just ridiculously pisses me off how bad it's become. You will get more respect for faking a ghost video in the most blatant way possible, like to the point where you're not even trying. That even if you came up with some kind of, it doesn't even matter, you could probably fucking cure cancer and still would be this complete garbage. And I really feel the same way about memes too. I think one of the worst things that ever happened to Marxism was memes. I mean, why ever discuss an idea when you can just make some stupid fucking picture? And people are pissed off if I say something like that. How dare you question memes? How dare you get mad about that? Name me one Facebook group where there's actually legitimate discussion of Marxist theory. Now name me 10,000 meme pages. I think that alone says just about everything that could be said. I really think meme pages have just fucking ruined leftism in general. I mean, it has dumbed down discourse to the level of one sentence. And sometimes it's not even a complete sentence. It's a stupid picture, here it is, it's funny, ha ha ha. And that's as far as it goes. Like, one of the things I have tried to do is expand discussion by writing whole books. Try to express ideology by writing whole books. But we don't have that anymore. We've got a stupid picture that pops up and is supposed to be a refutation of anything. It doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't have to be Marxism. It could be fucking ANCAP, stupidity, etc. But that's where it is. That's where discussion actually is. And I shouldn't even say that it's limited to the left, because it's not. It's limited to everything. There's not one political ideology with its online adherents, or at least within the realm of discussion online, where it's completely limited to stupid images. And a lot of people are going to attack me for saying that. They're going to say, oh, because you can't meme, blah, 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 or here's this, like, funny picture of you that I'm going to make now. I mean, that says everything. How many times have I said, fucking debate me? Do it. Step up. If you think this is wrong or this is incorrect in theory, step up and debate me on it. Or hell, not even me. Debate somebody else. Just, for God's sakes, have some kind of discussion. Just discuss something. Something other than memes. But that's all it is. And I think one of the biggest problems for all of this is the anonymous nature of the internet. When discussion is done through what are essentially sock accounts, even people don't even consider them to be sock accounts, they are sock accounts. Something where you can't be known, no one knows it's you. Basically, that's a sock account. Even if you use it every day, it still is. Or an anonymous message board. It doesn't matter. That anonymous message board could be anything. As long as nobody can hold you responsible for the things that you say, you can say anything. If in everyday life your answer to everything was, lol, this guy's a joke, or you're an idiot, read Bookchin, nobody would take you seriously. And because of that anonymous nature of discussion online, it gets reduced to that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm out here with my own face, with my own voice, saying the things that I say and making the arguments that I make, is because I find that to be utterly cancerous. Because you can just say anything. It doesn't even have to be an actual argument, and almost never is. And it doesn't matter. Even if somebody calls you on it, what does it matter? No one knows it's you. And I think that's a big problem. And no, I'm not advocating that that the bourgeois state track everybody and know who everybody is, or any kind of bullshit like that. I'm saying debate is awful. And frankly, it doesn't even exist. It is so badly done. There are so few people that are willing to actually do it. And it's fucked. It really is just fucked. Everything could be so much better, but 99% of everybody is hiding behind a sock account, calling people names, making up lies about them. And this is by no means limited to me. But this is, a lot of people get this as well. Because it's some asshole stock account on Facebook that never has to be held accountable for what they say. And that is a huge, huge problem. I would like to see an end to that. I would like to see actual real debate and discussion. And the worst part is, I'm going to get attacked for saying that. I want to see an end to memes as a form of form of discussion, an end to anonymity, and have at least someone to be held responsible for the things that they say. I will be attacked for that. If I say there isn't really any discussion, I will be attacked for that, even though it's actually true. It's amazing that anybody who actually really tries to stand out in public and actually discuss an idea is just completely ridiculed in our circles. I am endlessly attacked on complete bullshit, complete misrepresentations of what I say, and outright lies coming from a lot of Marxist and pseudo-Marxist groups. Look what happens to Caleb Maupin. Caleb Maupin wrote a book showing the links between Israeli capital and the U.S. war machine. They immediately scream anti-Semite. So it's anti-Semitic to acknowledge that there are Israeli hedge funds, large capital firms investing in the U.S. war machine. So it's anti-Semitic to acknowledge that. I mean, Maupin didn't say anything about Jews this or Jews that. He just noted international capital and it's in at least one country's relation to the U.S. war machine, and it gets called anti-Semitic. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. But that's where we are. That's where everything is right now, and that's where discussion is, and that's how utterly pathetic everything is right now. It doesn't have to be. We can do better. And if I criticize us for doing something that's stupid, I get attacked for it. And there's another phenomenon that really has to stop. Leftists doxing other leftists. This is completely unacceptable. If somebody merely mentions me on Lefty Poll, and for God's sakes, I really wish they wouldn't, because I don't want to fucking hear from them. I don't want to have anything to do with them. Guaranteed, somebody will be posting my real name and my real information, because I see it, because there are people on Lefty Poll who tell me when it happens. And I have friends who are there. For whatever reason they choose to be there, that's their choice. But I mean, think about that. And this is by no means limited to Lefty Poll. This is not something Lefty Poll does. This is something a lot of them do. What is up with this fucking pig work? Why is that something that's necessary? Are you so afraid of having to actually debate someone that you go around trying to spread their information, their personal information, to people who could possibly harm them? Why does this have to happen? Why do you do this? Why do you dox people like that? Are you so afraid of debate that this is the way you behave? In my honest opinion, most first worldists are just wreckers. Because this is what they do. They don't engage in debate, they just make memes. They make things up about you. They just hurl insult after insult. They dox you. And the rest of this garbage. How hard is it to just step up to a debate? I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Like, could you imagine Lenin or Stalin or Mao sitting there just calling people names over Beijing Review or Pravda? Could you imagine that? And how they'd be ridiculed into submission for doing so. But that's where we are. We don't have an honest and open debate. It doesn't exist. And then, of course, I'm going to be attacked for saying that, even though it's true. So, even though I've definitely said enough in this whole video, guys, we can and should do better. We can be better. We should do better. It doesn't have to be like this. We can actually discuss ideas rather than just call people names and make memes. Why can't ideas be discussed instead? And I think that's legitimately a disease of first worldism. Because I know that's not something we do. Well, I can think of one pseudo third worldist group that does that. We can do better. We should do better. We can be better than this, and we should be better than this. I just can't say much more than to repeat these same lines over and over again, because it legitimately needs to be said. So guys, if you can, try to raise the level of discourse. Try to make things better than they are now. Because as it stands right now, Marxism is a joke online. Because all the things that I've just previously said. And this is equally true for liberals, this is equally true for conservatives, this is equally true for ANCAPs, all of it. But we, above anyone else, should be better than this. Because we're the ones who are supposed to be better than this. So come on, guys. Do the best you can to make things better.